By the winter of 1971, D.B. Cooper had already become the most wanted unidentified man in America. Somewhere beneath the forests of the Pacific Northwest, federal authorities believed one of two things had happened. Either the hijacker died during the jump, or he had escaped successfully into the darkness, carrying $200,000 in ransom money. Neither possibility made complete sense, and that uncertainty slowly transformed the investigation into something almost obsessive. The FBI officially named the operation NORJAC, short for Northwest Hijacking. It would eventually become one of the longest and most expensive investigations in Bureau history. Thousands of pages of reports began filling federal archives. Witness interviews, search maps, weather analysis, suspect profiles, parachute studies, flight reconstructions. Every detail mattered now, because the mystery appeared impossible. The Pacific Northwest became the center of a massive federal search effort. Agents traveled through forests, rivers, logging roads, and isolated mountain regions, searching for anything connected to the hijacker. Helicopters swept above dense tree lines while ground crews searched beneath freezing rain and snow, but the terrain itself fought against investigators. Washington state contained enormous wilderness regions where a single human body could remain hidden forever. Rivers shifted constantly, animals scattered remains, snow buried evidence beneath layers of ice and mud, and every week that passed reduced the chances of finding Cooper alive. Yet strangely, investigators never discovered proof of death either. No body, no parachute, no money bag, nothing. That absence began influencing public imagination because people naturally expect the dead to leave evidence behind, especially after a dangerous parachute jump into mountainous wilderness during a violent storm. But the wilderness remained silent. The FBI interviewed the flight crew repeatedly. Witnesses continued describing Cooper the same way: calm, polite, emotionally controlled. One flight attendant later admitted the hijacker almost seemed detached from fear entirely. That detail deeply disturbed investigators, because criminals under pressure usually reveal panic eventually. Cooper never did, even while carrying an alleged bomb aboard a passenger aircraft. The FBI soon developed one of the first major theories: military background. Investigators believed Cooper may have served as a paratrooper or military aviator. The way he moved inside the aircraft suggested familiarity with aviation procedures. He understood the Boeing 727 unusually well. He knew the rear staircase could deploy mid-flight. He selected parachutes carefully, and he issued technical flight instructions that appeared specific and deliberate. But another group of investigators argued the exact opposite. Experienced skydivers later analyzed the jump conditions and concluded they were almost suicidal. The storm was severe, visibility nearly non-existent, temperatures brutally cold. The parachute Cooper selected was older and difficult to maneuver. He carried no helmet, no altimeter, no reserve survival equipment. Some experts concluded no professional parachutist would willingly attempt such a jump under those conditions. That contradiction became central to the case. Was D.B. Cooper highly trained or dangerously reckless? The answer remained unclear. As media coverage exploded nationwide, tips flooded into FBI offices from across the country. Thousands of possible suspects emerged. Some were reported by former wives, others by coworkers, friends, neighbors, anonymous callers. At times, the investigation became almost chaotic. Men matching Cooper's description appeared everywhere. Former soldiers suddenly attracted suspicion. Skydivers became targets of scrutiny. Criminal records were re-examined repeatedly, and throughout the investigation, one unsettling pattern emerged. Many suspects seemed capable of being Cooper, but none matched perfectly. One man possessed military parachute experience, but lacked physical resemblance. Another resembled the sketch closely, but had no aviation knowledge. Others appeared psychologically capable of the crime, yet could not be placed near the hijacking itself. The mystery seemed to reject certainty constantly. Meanwhile, the public fascination only grew stronger. Newspapers described Cooper almost mythologically. Some Americans admired him, not because he committed a crime, but because he had embarrassed the federal government so completely. He had taken money from an airline, jumped into darkness, and vanished, without firing a single shot. That image captured the imagination of the country, especially during the early 1970s, a period when distrust toward government institutions continued growing after Vietnam and political scandal. To some people, D.B. Cooper became more than a hijacker. He became a symbol of rebellion, an outlaw phantom hidden somewhere inside America. The FBI hated that perception. Agents feared the case might inspire more hijackings, and unfortunately, it did. Within years, copycat hijackers attempted similar crimes repeatedly. But unlike Cooper, most failed quickly. Some died, others were arrested almost immediately, and gradually the FBI realized something terrifying. D.B. Cooper may have succeeded because he possessed something the imitators lacked: discipline. The hijacker had remained emotionally controlled throughout the entire operation. No unnecessary violence, no emotional breakdown, no ego-driven mistakes. Even his appearance had been carefully designed. Ordinary business attire, generic features, nothing memorable except the mystery itself. The deeper investigators looked, the more Cooper seemed almost deliberately constructed to disappear. Then another major question emerged. Why choose that specific flight path? The aircraft traveled directly across vast wilderness regions of Washington state. Forests, mountains, rivers, sparse population. If someone wanted to vanish completely after parachuting from an airplane, few places in America were better. Some investigators began wondering whether Cooper knew the terrain already. Perhaps he had lived there, worked there, served nearby in the military. The theory raised another disturbing possibility. Maybe someone had helped him after the jump. An accomplice waiting somewhere below. A hidden vehicle, a prearranged escape route. But once again, evidence remained frustratingly absent. No confirmed witnesses reported seeing Cooper after the jump. No stolen money surfaced publicly. No verified communication ever arrived from the hijacker afterward. He simply vanished. As years passed, the case slowly transformed into something larger than an ordinary criminal investigation. It became an American legend. The man in the dark suit, the storm, the parachute, the disappearing money. Children grew up hearing the story. Television documentaries revisited the mystery repeatedly. Books proposed endless theories, and still, the FBI continued searching, because somewhere buried beneath the endless speculation, investigators believed the truth still existed, and eventually their attention would focus on a series of suspects whose lives contained eerie similarities to the mysterious hijacker himself. Men with military backgrounds, parachute experience, knowledge of aircraft, and secrets dark enough to make investigators wonder whether they had finally found the real D.B. Cooper. In the next episode, the suspects emerge from the shadows, and some of them are far more disturbing than anyone expected. This is Echoes of Humanity TV, youtube.com/Echoes of Humanity TV.